start. The first one we have here, it's about a sequence. We have two types of sequence, right? The first type, it's arithmetic sequence, which each time I adding or I increase the value of the sequence by a constant value, or geometric sequence, which I increase or decrease by multiply or divide, right? There is a big difference between both of them. How I can identify each one of them by looking at each term. What's happened for the first term to the second term? It's increased by 3, right? Here it's increased by 3. Here it's increased by 3. Here it's increased by 3. So in this situation, we can admit that this is arithmetic sequence. For arithmetic sequence, I have many rules. The first rule for the nth term. How I can identify nth term? Nth term I can identify by the values, or the rule of a plus n minus 1 all multiplied by d. You understand this part? Okay. What the meaning of a? It's the first term. What the meaning of n? It's the n. It's indicated to the order of term. D, it's mean the difference between each two consecutive terms. So we can note that I need to identify all the values here. Where's a? Of course, here we can identify a by name it by 1. D, the difference between each two terms, which is 3. Now, if he asks me to find in expressions in term of n for the nth term of the sequence, so for this value it will be the nth term. I will apply this. It will be a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. A, it will be 1 plus n minus 1 all multiplied by d by 3. Okay, this is the nth term. So for this value, I will expand the 3. So it will be 1 plus 3n minus 3. Now we can note that I have two values constant. I can add them together, right? So it will be like 3n minus 2. And this is the nth term. You understand it? Okay. Let's try another method to answer this. I will look at the first term. What happened? Okay, let's try to select method 2. I will look at the first term. What's happened to become 4? It's adding 3. And of course, adding 3, it's it keep repeating. So it's in this case, it will be 3n. Does the first term is 3? No, it's 1. How I can make 3 become 1? By subtracting 2. Do you understand this? Which one is easier? It's depend on you. It's up to you. So this is for the first part. Now let's ask about the second part. He thinks that the nth term of the difference arithmetics, and we have to make sure that this word, he said that it's different arithmetics. It doesn't relate it to the first part here. No, we have another one. And in this part, he said that 5n plus 17, find the 12th term of the sequence. What I have to do in this? Any ideas? Exactly. Put 12 instead of n. So to put 12 instead of n, it will be like 5 multiplied by 12. This is all plus 17. Of course, in this situation, we have to use the magic inventions, which is called calculator. It will be like perfect 77. There's anything hard about arithmetics? In total, we can review anything related to total. Of course, I will tell you what the other rule which is related to arithmetic sequence. It's called the summation of sequence. Summation of sequence. What the meaning of summation of sequence? It's like if I have the first 4 sequence, as we can note here. If he said that 1, 4, 7, 10, and so on, and he said that find the summation of the first 5 terms. So I have two options. The first option, I have to identify the first 5 terms and add them together, which will be easier if he asks me for the first 5. But what about if he asks me about first 50 terms? In this case, I have two options. The first one, we can screen. The second one, we can answer. Of course, the summation, it's like n over 2, all multiply 2a plus n minus 1, all multiply d. This is all. How I can recognize or memorize this rule? Look here, it's already exists here. Okay, so you have it already, so it doesn't need any memorizing anything. So the only thing that you need to memorize the rule for the nth term. You understand it? It exists here. This is the summation of our first term. But yes, but the only thing that you need to memorize it, it's the rule for nth term. Okay, not this one. So in this situation, I will apply here. Instead of 50, I will write, instead of n, I will write 50. So it will be 50 over 2, 2 multiply, of course, a here for this equation. Let's try by this 1. Of course, a here will be like 1. It will be for here, as example. We have to find the first term. First term here, it will be 1. 5 plus 17 equal 22. So here it will be 22, okay? Plus n minus 1, which is 50 minus 1, all multiply d. Of course, d here is 17. So I can apply it easier and find out, okay? There is any idea which is harder to understand it about this, okay? We applied for this equation because the first term in this equation I will put 1 instead of n, okay? And after that, it will be 1 times 5 equal 5 plus 17 equal 22. So it will be 22 for this equation. But if I applied a here it will be 1 because this is different arithmetic sequence. It's big difference, okay? You understand it? Okay. In this question, it's depend on probabilities. Of course, the first information we need to know about probabilities that the total probability of anything is equal 1. So total probability has to be equal 1. So in this condition, if he asks me to work out how many of the 450 students traveled by car, he need the value of 2x, I have to calculate this. So the first thing I need to add all these probabilities together. It will be like 2x, 0.26, which is all equal 1. Now I have an equation in one variable, right? So I need to isolate x and solve for x, right? So the first thing, let's try by adding these two numbers together. It will be 0.20, 0.26, which is equal to 0.46, plus, of course, x, 2x, which is equal to 3x, right? This is all equal 1. After that, I will isolate x by sending 0.46 to the other side. It will be 3x equal 1 minus 0.46, which is equal what? Perfect, 0.54. What next? Divided by x, divided by 3. So it will be x equals 0.54 divided by 3. 0.54 divided by 3 equal what? Equals 0.18. Do you understand this part? So the first one, it's means 0.18. So let's back here and answer this. X will be 0.18. Here will be 0.36. Of course, if I multiply this 18 by 2, it will be 0.36. You understand it? Okay. Did I answer this question, Mrs.? What? What I have to do in this situation? Perfect. So probability of the car, if I need to find out the how many of the whole answer car, it will be like 0.36 multiplied by the total, which is for 450, right? So it will be like what? 162. Okay. So there's anything hard about this? This is all probabilities, of course, and it will be easier. Of course, he gave me these questions just to making me confusing between figure out the value of x or figure out how many travel by the car. So some students maybe after they figure out the value of x, they forget to figure out what he asked for. Okay, this is for the first part. Now, of course, for the second part, he said that find the highest common factor of HCF and these numbers. So for this part, he asked me for the highest common factor. Of course, if we need to figure out the highest common factor, I have to using factors tree. We have many options. First, using one factor tree. Okay. The second, write factors. The third, using Venn diagram. It's up to you. You can use whatever you want. Let's try by factor 3 as long as we used to use factor 3, of course. So it will be like 72, which two numbers multiply each other equals 72. It will be 8 times 9. This is would be 3 times 3. Would be triple of 2. Now what about 108? For 108 it will be, of course, I have two numbers equal 108. The first one exactly, or 9 multiplied by 12. Okay, 108, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 2. After this, as long as he asks me for HCF, I have to use only the common factors, only common factors. Okay, so for this situation, let's try the pose. Let's try by using factor tree and using at the same time the Venn diagram. For these situations, I have to making this circles, and look at here. This is would be like 72. This is would be like 108. Now let's try by write all the factors. But the first thing I have to understand how many common. Of course, let's making this like 3 3. Okay, and also I can 3 3 also. There's other thing, it's like 2 2 2 2. So this is all common, right? So I can also that it's like 3 3 2 2, right? How many remain in 72? It's like 2. How many remain in 108? It's like 3. In these situations, if I need the HCF, it's like the intersection only. So for this part of intersections, this is called HCF. This is HCF. What about the two circles, the whole two circles? This is whole two circles is called LCM. So LCM for this situation is like will be 2 power of 3 multiply 3 power of 3. Do you understand this? The whole. Okay, so this is for this part, of course, and it's so easier to understand it, right? Okay, look here. As long as he asked me that Eva record the number of kilometers she drive each month. In April, Eva drove like 943 kilometers. This is 15% more than the number of kilometers she drove in March. So it's like we have two numbers, okay? She drove like 15% more than the number of the March. Work out how many numbers she drove in March. So we can look at in this form how this is, we have April, right? We have March. Do you understand this? Okay. She drove 943 in April, but we have no idea how much she drove in March. But we know that this is 15% more than the number of kilometers she drove in March. So if we assume that the percent that she drove in March is like 100%, so this is will be represented by 115, right? You understand this part? So for this situation, cross multiplication, our internal friend, it will be in this situation 115%. Of course, I cannot multiply, so I will multiply 943 multiply 100%. This is all divided by 115. Okay, so it will be 943 divided by 115%. Of course, 100% it's mean one, but we can try it, and we will figure out what the value for these situations. If we multiply this together, it will be equal 820 kilometers. Let's start. The first thing we need to understand is what mean of the rule of pentagon, or the interior angle of any pentagon. Interior angle of polygon, any polygon عامة, any polygon, any no, n minus 2 multiply 180 divided by n, which n of course number of side, يعني number of side. If we need the summation of interior, all the interior, we need only to cancel n. It will be n minus 2 all multiply 180. There's anything hard about this? If we need to know what the meaning of exterior angle equal 180 minus the interior. I will write all the rule which are related to polygon, by the way. If we need to calculate the number of sides, how I can figure out the number of sides? First, I need to know the measure of exterior. I cannot figure out the number of sides without knowing the exterior angle. So in this situation, it will be 360 divided the exterior angle, in measure of one exterior angle. Okay? And to figure out the measure of one exterior angle, I have to figure out the measure of interior angle, then subtract it from 180. Do you understand it? Okay. This is perfect. Let's try to answer our amazing, awesome, beautiful question. He said that for this situation, this part 96. Now I need to figure out the interior angle of pentagon. This is pentagon, right? Yes. So I need to figure out the interior angle of pentagon. So interior of pentagon, I will apply this rule. It will be like 5 minus 2 all multiply 180 divided by 5, which is equal, for these situations, it will equal what? Hmm? 180. So if this equal 108, now I have this rule. Let's try. This is 108. This is 96. How I can figure out this angle? Of course, I know rule. That's accumulative angle around 1 point equal 306, right? So I have two angles. It will be 360 minus this whole angle, 96, 108, right? Which is equal 156. Ta-da! That's all for this one. Look for these questions. It's like expand how I can multiply these two together. We have many methods to answer this part of questions. The first thing is like expanding. So I will multiply m by m by negative 8. After that, f5 by m, 5 by negative 8. But I prefer another method. What this method? This method, it will be like make these rectangles. Okay, here, there, 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 like this exactly. Now I will take m. Okay, so for this, I will take m and 5. Here m and negative 8. After that, I will multiply them together. I will take this m with m, it will be m power 2, m with 5, it will be 5m. After that, negative 8 with m, it will be negative 8m, negative 8 with 5, it will be negative 40. For these situations, for always, or most of the times, we can note that these two parts are equal, so I can combine them together. Of course, these two parts will remaining the same. It will be m power of 2, and here negative 40, but for this part, negative 8 plus 5 equal negative 3m. So this is the final answer. Or, as I told you at the beginning, we can keep expanding these numbers. Once I will take this m, multiply m minus 8, then I will take this 5, multiply, of course this is over, 5 multiply m minus 8. Then I will expand it, it will be m power 2 minus 8m plus 5m minus 40. Of course, the important thing about this part is we have to make sure that we're dealing with the sign correctly, okay? Because this will be like a big mistake. And after that, I will, looks like I have to, like terms, I will combine them together. In this situation, it will be like negative 3m minus 40. So, there's anything hard about this part? Of course not, because I'm the good teacher. For the next one, he asked me to solve this equation. Most of the time, as long as we have in denominators, we have a number in denominators. So in this situation, I will make cross multiplication. So take the 3, multiply here, because the 3 here will divide, so I will send it here by multiply. So it will be 3 multiply 3n minus 4. This is equal 5n plus 5, plus 6, sorry. After this, I will expand the 3. It will be like 9n minus 12 equal 5n plus 6. For always, the small term go to the big term. As example, this is small for n, so I will send it to the other side. It doesn't matter what's happening with the constant, because this is not the important thing. The important thing that to isolate the variable. So I need to isolate the variable by sending the small one to the big one. So sending 5n to the other side will be 9n minus 5n, which is equal 6, and this negative 12 will be positive 12 in this situation. After this, it will be 4n equals 16 divided by 4 for the other side to isolate n will equal 4. So there's anything hard about this part? You understand it all? Yes or no? No? Okay, but we have a little mistake here. Sorry for this. This is would be 18. Sorry. 6 plus 12 equal 18 divided by 4. 18 divided by 4, it has to be 4.5. So this is our little mistake. Sorry for this. Okay? So this is for this question. For this part, for the sets, he said that a universal set I have, it's starting from 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he just skip any numbers for this part. And in letter or in set A, it's even number. The first thing to do here, I have to identify the even number. What is the even number in this set? So let's assume that A would be like, let's write A would be like 24, 26. We have to write them down so we can recognize what meaning of A. 32 and 34, okay? Now for multiple of 3, which is C. What the multiple of 3 here in universal set? Does any one of you know what the multiple of 3? Okay, we can start by 24 is multiple of 3. 27 is multiple of 3. Yes, exactly. 33 is multiple of 3. That's all. Now he asked me that B and union C. It's mean all. This is mean union, by the way. So it's mean all of both without repeating. This is what the meaning of union. So in these situations, I have to unite between A and B. So 23 doesn't exist here, so I will have to write it down. Okay, he said list doesn't say n of. If he said n of BC, I have to count the element. But if he said list, I have to write down the element. Okay, so it will be 23, 24, 27, 29, 30, 31, 33. This is mean all the sets or all the elements of A and B. You understand this part? Now for the second one, he asked me for A dash intersect C. So the first thing I have to identify what the meaning of A dash. So I can recognize what A dash. Yes, exactly. So in these situations, I will write it down in A dash. Let's try write A dash here. So any element but A. Any element but A. Which is A dash, any element but A. It will be like 23, of course, 25, 27, 29, 31, 33. This is all A dash. And he said intersect C. Intersect, it's mean common element only. So, what is the common element between A and the C? We can note that the common element between A and the C for this situation will be 27 and 33. You understand it? Perfect. Now for part B. Is it true that B intersects C is equal 5? Yes or no? And he said that give a reason. Don't just write or take yes or no without giving reason. So let's look at P and C. This is C, it's only the multiple of 3, and P, it's 23, 29, 31. So, of course, as we can note that there is no intersections between them. So, this is true. What is the reason? Does any one of you know what is the reason? Okay, of course it will be, this is correct. Yes. Why? Because, what? Perfect. No repeated element or no common element. No common element in both. That's all. It's too easy. It's too easy, this question. Now, the set D has four members. He's talking about set D, which is, there's no reference for it. And he said that it's such that D intersect A union C equal 5. So, the first thing we have to know what the A union C. A union C, it's mean all the element of A, all the element of C. And D would be like any element but both of them. But both of them. Okay? So as we can note that I have to write down first what the meaning of A union C. What A union C here? So it would be like 24, 26, 27, 28, 32, 33, 34. This is A union C. Of course, he asked me that the intersection of both would be phi, so I need A union C dash, right? So A union C dash, it would be like 23, 25, 29, 31. So this would be the answer. 23, 25, 29, 31. You understand this part? There's anything hard about this one? Of course not. In this question, I have to first look at the rule for the volume of the cylinder. We know that the volume of the cylinder for cylinder is equal area of the base, right? Multiply height. Okay. If the height is 21, if the volume is 1575, so area would be like 1575 divided by 21, right? 1575 divided by 21, which is equal 75. Okay, so now I figure out 75. Then he asked me that work out pressure. If I need to figure out the pressure, according to this rule, the pressure equal force divided by the area. If the force is 84, so I have to divide it by the area, right? Which is equal 75. Okay, so this would be the answer, which is equal 84 divided by 75, 1.12. Okay, of course in 2 centimeters square. So this is the answer for this question. Of course, the standard form has to be in the value of a multiplied by 10 to power n. A has to be between numbers between 1, equal 1 or greater than, smaller than 10 of course. So this is mean I have to have one decimal or one digit at the left of the decimal. I cannot put any numbers more. N has to be integer of course. Okay, integer only cannot be fractions, cannot be decimal. It has to be integer only. This is the value. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, by the way. So he said that in this situation, write 3.5 multiply 10 power 7 as an ordinary numbers. In this situation, if you try to put this on your calculator, it will give you the same numbers as he gave it to you. So how we can note that as long as the power is positive, so this is mean I have to move the decimal to the right 7 digits. Okay, so it will be 3, 5. Now I cancel one number from the 7, remains 6 zeros. It would be like this. You understand this part? But if it multiply by 10 to the power negative 7, so it has to go left by 7 steps. Now he said that in 2020, Japan produced like 6,780,000 more ton of fries than Argentina. Work out the amount of fries Japan produced in 2020. Give your answer standard form. So he said that Japan produced more than Argentina, more than. So I need the amount of fries Japan produced in 2020. So this is of course, this is for 2020, and he said that, and Indonesia and Argentina. So I have to add this number with Argentina to figure out 8.2 multiply 10 power 5, 8.2 multiply 10 power 5. This is all plus 6, 7, 8, 4 zeros. How I can add this two together? And he said that in the standard form, how I can add them together. Do you have any idea? Okay, we can look first at this is 10 to the power 5, so I will make 10 to the power 5 here by using this. So it will be 67.8 multiply 10 to the power 5. This is plus 8.2 multiply 10 to the power 5. I will take 10 to the power 5 as a common factor, open the bracket, 8.2 plus 67.8. Let's try by using the calculators that 8.2, okay, 8.2 plus 67.8. It would equal 76. So 76 multiplied 10 power 5, and he asked me for standard form. So 76, I can notice that 76 is considered as 7.6 multiplied by 10. So this will be 7.6 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10 power 5. If I have this, it will be 7.6 multiplied by 10 power 6. Do you understand it? Okay, it's good. Okay, for this part, he said the first thing 2p all to power 0. We know that anything to power 0 equal 1, of course, except 0 power 0 equals 0. That's why he asked me that p is greater than 8. So for the second part, he said that like y power 9 multiplied by power negative 3 equal y power n. So as long as we multiplied, we have to add the power. So it will be 9 minus 3 or 9 plus minus 3, which is 9 minus 3 equal y to power 6. So the value of n is 6. خلي بالكم ساعات احنا بنكتب y باور 6، ساعات هو بياخدها بطريقه بيرسونال شويه ويديك 0 عشان هو عايز الفاليو بتاعت الان. كان انت بتقول له الفاليو بتاعت الان y باور 6، فانت ركز ان هو عايز الان بس فتكتب فيها 6 بس. خلاص. بعد كده هنا بيقول لي this is all to power 3 as long as I need to simplify. So I have to distribute all the power, so it would be 5 power 3, a power 4 all power 3, c power 2 all power 3. This is 5 power 3, of course we know that is equal to 125, and if I have two powers over each other, I have to multiply them together, it will be 12. This is multiply them together, it will be 6. You understand this part? As we can see here, this roof support is made from 4 lengths of wood. We have these 4 sides, and we have 2 sides which is equal. So if this side is 9, this will be 9 also. This is AB, which is equal to 12, and this angle is 90 degrees. He said that he is going to buy lengths of wood to make the roof support, and the wood costs this one. This is for meter, and each length of wood he has to be whole number, so there's no decimal has to be used. He said that work out the total cost of the wood players need to buy, and I need to calculate each one. So of course the only unknown part is will be like cm, right? How I can know the cm? Of course cm can be in the form of the right angle triangle, right? So and that will be in this form. As long as this is 12, so this is part would be like 6. Okay, this is part would be like 9, and I need this part. How I can know this part? Of course, it will be from Pythagoras theorem. So to know cm, it will be like root of 9 power of 2 minus what? Minus 6 power of 2. 9 power of 2 minus 6 power of 2, which is equal. Let's try by using the calculator. It will be like root 81 minus 36, which equal 3 root 5. So of course 3 root 5 it will be like 6.7. 6.7. Of course 6.7 as we said before, I cannot pi accept the whole number, so meter it will be like 7. You understand this part? So the whole part I need to calculate. So to calculate how much he has to pay, it will be like 7 plus double of 9 plus 12. This is the whole meter that he will buy, and each meter costs 21.50, so it will be multiplied by 21.50. Now after that, which is equal what? Of course it will be like 795.5. Okay, this is for money. Is there anything hard? For the first part, if we need to answer this part, it's factorize fully, and as long as it's only for 2 questions, and he asked me for factorize only without solving, because if it's in case of solving, I have to use quadratic formula, but in case of factorize only, I have to use the calculator. So I will write on calculator mod 5 3, then put inside the value 6 equal negative 5 equal negative 4 equal. The first one equal 4 over 3, the second one equal negative half. So 4 over 3, negative half. In this situation, this is 3, it will be 3x, and this is 4, it will be negative 4. And this is 2, it will be 2x. This is negative 1, it will be positive 1. And this is the whole answer. And I can erase this with happy smile. Okay? Nothing more to do in this situation. Do you understand this part؟ طب في طريقة تانية ممكن نعملها. انت في الحالة دي بتعمل تقسم ال 6 numbers كأنه 2 terms، ولكن هو مش مطلوب، هو بمجرد ما اشوف الانسر دي بتديك ال 2 marks. Okay? Now for expression. Wow! Wow, yes, it has to be y, but I love it. Now here, this is expression for these situations. Okay, I have to write down the numbers in these situations. Of course, they have to be the same denominators. For this same denominators, this 3x, this is 4x, as we practiced before. We will multiply by 4 up and down, multiply by 3 up and down, to make the same denominators. Of course, in these situations, it will be here 12x. Now I will expand the 3. For 2x, it will be 6x. 3 multiplied by 1 will be 3. This is plus, of course, 12x. 4 times 7, 28. 4 times 5, 20. Now I can collect the like terms. This is x with x. For this situation, the same 12x in denominator. 6x minus 20x, it will be negative 14x. And 3 plus 28, it will be like 31. This is the final answer. Do you have any issues with this part? Thank you. Now with question number 15. Here we have has 2 bags of beads. In bag A there are 3 whites and 7 black beads. In bag B there are 5 whites and 4 black beads. So I have to complete this probability or tree diagrams. For the first one, I have to look at the white. Of course, the white here, since the total here is 10, so the white has to be 3 out of 10, but the black it has to be 7 out of 10. This is for the first one. But for the second one, as long as here the total is 9, white here is 5 over 9, and black here is 4 over 9, it will be the same for the next one. Now work out probability that her man takes 2 beads of the same colors. Of course, 2 beads of the same colors mean black, black, which this black, black, or I can choose white, white, which is white and white at the same time. So in the situations, I have to multiply 3 over 10, multiply by 4 over 5 over 9. Sorry, this is all plus 7 over 10, multiply 4 over 9, okay, which is equal in total 43 over 90. Question number 14. The combined saving of Apple and Bahira are 15,435 dinar. The saving of Bahira are 45% more than the saving of Apple, and the saving of Bahira is 3 over 2 times the saving of Chenda. We need to figure out the saving of Chenda. So in the situations, as long as there's relations between Apple and Bahira, so it's like I will assume that Bahira is A, Apple is A, and Bahira is 1.45 A, because she is greater than by 45%, which is summation of both equal 15,435. So we have to isolate or solve for A. In this situation, it will be 2.45 A equal 15,435. Of course, in this situation, I will send this to the other side by divide. So it will be A equal 15,435 divided by 2.45. So in this situation, we will assume that we have 15,435 divided by 2.45, which is equal 6,300. After this, this is what for Apple we need Bahira. So Bahira it will be like 6,300 multiplied by 1.45. By using calculator we figure out that's it's equal 9135. After that he said that the saving Bahira is 3 2, so here it's like 3 2 of Chenda. And we know that here is this numbers, and I have no idea about 1.5 for Chenda. I need Chenda, so when I send this one, it will be 135 divided by 1.5 for Chenda. After we using the calculator, we will figure out that it's equal 6090. Function f in question 15 is defined as this form, and he said that state the value of x that cannot be included in any domain of the function. What the meaning of this part? It's mean the value of x, which is if I put it in denominator, it will equal undefined. So the only thing that if I can look at here, I will look at the denominator as well, like x minus 2, I equalize to 1 equals 0. So I figure out that x equal to, so this is the answer, x equal to, because if I make the denominator as 0, there is nothing divided by 0. So this is undefined, this is what cannot include. Now for the next one, he asked me for the inverse function. Of course, for the inverse function, if I have this function, I will put it in the form y equals 3x plus 1 over x minus 2. In this situation, I have to change between the both. So I will make x y. For example, this will be x. This will be 3y plus 1 over y minus 2. And I have to isolate y again. In this situation, I will apply by cross multiplication. It will be like x multiply y minus 2, which is all equals 3y plus 1. After that, I have to expand this one. It will be like xy minus 2x equals 3y plus 1. I change between both of them to combine y in one side. So it will be xy minus 3y equal to x plus 1. By taking y common factor, it will be x minus 3, which is equal to x plus 1. After this, I will send this part, all of this part, to the other side. Okay, so sending this part to the other side will be y equal to x plus 1 over x minus 3. So this is the final answer. Question 16. In question 16, there are 20 sweets in the box. 15 of sweets are red, 5 of sweets are yellow. For it, take random 3 sweets from the box, and here are work out probability that for it take at least 1 sweet of each color. So to take 1 sweet of each color, at least it's like I can take like red, 2 red, 1 yellow, or 2 yellow, 1 red. Of course, we have to follow the orders. So in this case, I can start by R, yellow, R, yellow, R, R. The same it will be here, like this. So I will apply the rules for this. If I have like red, it will be like 15, of course, over 20, which is multiply the second pig of red, it will be 14 over 19, which multiply the yellow, it will be 5 over 20, of course. Okay, 5 over 18, sorry, because in this situation, I have pig 3 times. Okay, and this is all, as long as it's repeated 3 times, it will be multiplied by 3. Multiply all of this. In this situation, if I have 2 yellow, it will be like 5 over 20, multiply 4 over 19, multiply 15 over 18. It will be the same, of course, and I have to multiply by 3. After I make these calculations by using calculator, it will be equal 45 over 76. We have another method, of course. What this method? It's about what? He said that at least one of them. So, which is far away, I cannot apply it. That's the 3 of them are red, or the 3 of them are yellow. So this is the 2 probabilities that cannot happen. I will take it from one, which is laid to the other probability. So it will be 1 minus, and I have to apply 15 over 20, multiply 14 over 19, multiply by 13 over 18. This is all plus 5 over 20, multiply 4 over 19, multiply by 3 over 18. And after I do all the calculations in this situation, it will be 45 over 76. In question 17, he said that show that 1 plus root 5 over 3 minus root 5 can be written in the form of a plus third b, where a and b are integers. So we have to make sure that it's integer, and I have to use something which called conjugate. What the meaning of conjugate? It's the same terms in denominators, but with different sign, which is 3 plus root 5. So in these situations, I will multiply up and down by 3 plus root 5, up and down. It will be in this form. Of course, if you don't know what the useful of conjugate, it's like we apply this rule. If I have a minus b multiply a plus b, it will lead us to a power of 2 minus b power of 2. So in these situations, if I need to multiply these two together, I will get the denominator, the power 2 of the first, power 2 of the last, with subtraction operation. Of course, I can multiply the up numbers together, which is 1 plus root 5 multiply 3 plus root 5 also. And in draft, I will apply this one. It will be like 1, here root 5, here 3, here root 5. Then we can apply them together. This is 3, 3 root 5. This is root 5. This is would be 5. Now we can note that it's equal 8 plus 4 root 5. So in these situations, it will equal like 8 plus 4 root 5, which is divided by 4. Now I can expand the 4. It will be 8 divided by 4 plus 4 over 4 root 5, which is 2 plus root 5. And it will be the same as the form. So the value of a, it would be 2. The value of b, it will be root, it will be 5, of course, because this is the value of 5. So that would be 5. Okay. Question 18, curve C has equation, and he gave me the equation, and he asked me to find both of the points C at the gradient. Of course, as long as he asked me for the gradient from this equation, so I have to find the derivative for this equation, which is y dash. It will be equal 3x power of 2 minus 40, and he said that the gradient is 8, so this is all equal 8. So I have to deal with this part. Now I have to find x. Will be 3x power of 2 equal 8 plus 40. Yeah, 3x power 2 equal 48 divided by 3 for both sides. X power of 2 equals 16. As long as this is power, so it has to be root of 16 positive or negative, which is positive or negative 4. Now I have the value of x, of course, 4 positive, 4 negative. I have to apply in this equations. So I have like x power of 3, apply of course in the main equation. So substitute in main equation. It will be here 3 power 2, it will be 4 power 3 minus 40 multiplied by 4. Of course, this is all plus 1. And here it will be negative 4 all power 3 minus 40 multiplied by negative 4. This is all plus 1. In case of 4, it will be equal negative 95. In this situation, it will be equal 97. So negative 95 and here 97. Question 19, he asked me that work out the value of x. So to work out the value of x, we have to use two types of rules. We have the sine rule, and we can apply sine rule only if we have like a side and the opposite angle. And here in this situation, I don't have any side and opposite angle in triangle ABD. And or I can use the cosine rule if I have three sides or two sides and include angle, which I don't have any one of them. But I can find the opposite side or three sides, side BD, by using the sine rule in BCD. So in the triangle BCD, we can apply the sine rule. How? By saying sine 40, which is over this 12.8, equal sine 62, which is over BD. Now to find out the value of BD, it will be 12.8 by using, of course, cross multiplication. Sine 62 over sine 40, which is by using the calculator, it would be like 17.582, of course, with the name numbers. After I figure out that this number is 17.58, I can use the value this to find a by using the cosine rule. And we know that the cosine rule in this situation, it will be like cosine x, it will equal the rule of power of 2, of course, so we have to apply like 13.4 power of 2 plus 15.2 power of 2 minus the values, which is 17.582. This is all power of 2. All of this divided by 2 multiply 13.4 multiply 15.2. And after I figure out the value, I can find the angle by find the cosine inverse, or we can do it in one situation. Instead of cosine x, I will write it like this: angle x equal cosine inverse, and write this all inside the calculator, which is what lead 75.6. Now with question 20. We have the diagram show the sector of OABC of the center A with the angle 60, and he said that the area of the shaded segment, which is equal to 38, you need to figure out the parameter of the shaded segment ABC. So to figure out the parameter of the segment ABC, I need the length of AC as side and the length of ABC as an arc. Okay? So first thing I need to figure out that I know that the area of segment, it's like area of sector. Sector, it's all this whole shape minus area of the triangle. Area of segment, it's like 38. Area of sector, it's like theta over 360 multiplied by r squared. So it will be like 60 over 360 multiplied by r squared. What the meaning of r? This is r, by the way. And of course, let's know that as long as this is 60 and this is isosceles triangle, so this is mean the other two sides it will be 60. So this is mean it's equilateral triangle. So it's mean that AC equal R also. So if I figure out the value of R, it will be the value of AC. This is all minus the area of the triangle, and we know that the area of triangle is applied by half AB sine theta, and A and B, they are both R, so it will be half R squared sine 60 in this situations. Of course, this is would be like 1 over 6 after I simplify by R squared. This is root 3 over 2, so if I multiply it will be root 3 over 4 R squared. By taking R squared as a common factor, it will be like pi over 6 minus root 3 over 4, of course. This is all inside bracket, sorry, which is equal to 38. To find the r only, I will find the square root of 38 divided by pi over 6 minus root 3 over 4. This is all inside the bracket, which is will lead us the value after using calculator. Of course, it will be 20.481 and so on. Now, after I finish the value of R, which is the value of AC, I need the value of the arc ABC. So if I need the value of the arc ABC, I will apply that theta over 360 multiplied by the circumference of the circle, which is by D. And by D here, D is equal to R, of course. So D equal to R. So it will be the value of this arc ABC arc. So ABC as an arc, it will be theta over 360, which is 6 over 360 by it will be 1 over 6 by multiplied by D, which is the value of R times 2, so it will be multiplied by 20.481 multiplied by 2. Okay, so this is will lead me that the value of the final answers of the arc ABC, so it will be 21.448. After that, I have to find the parameter. To figure out the parameter, it will be the arc ABC plus AC as a side, which is AC this one. After I add this both together, it will be like 41.9. Question 21, curve has equation y equal f of x. I have no idea about the equations, but he said that there is one minimum point of the curve, which is 5 and negative 4. So in this situation, if I have minimum point of the curve, which is 5, negative 4 at this situation, this is the minimum. We can assume that it's like this, okay? So this is 5, negative 4. He said that write down the coordinate of the minimum point of that curve. So we're talking about transformations. If it's moved like positive 7, it's mean moving left 7 steps. So moving left 7 steps, I will change x. So instead of 5, it will be 5 minus 7. Of course, negative 4 will be the same. 5 minus 7 it will be negative 2, and this is would be negative 4. But in this situation, it's minus 6. As long as it's away from the f of x, it's mean moving down by 6 steps. So change in y, because if it's moving up by 6, it will be also changed in y, but inside the f of x it will be changed in x, of course. So instead of 5, negative 4, it will be negative 4 minus 6, so it will be 5, negative 10. Let's look at this question. This is for 22. It's been an incomplete histogram shows some information about the distance in kilometers that 100 adults ran last week. Okay, we have many mystery points here. The first thing, what each square here represents. I have no idea what each square here represents, but he will give you an information, which like a key to figure out what each square represents here. He said that all of the others run at least 5 kilometers, okay? At least 5 kilometers. This is the distance. So at least 5 kilometers, so we can, the list one is here. By the way, none of adults run more than 55, so there is nothing here, okay? 14 adults, so 14 adults, this is the frequency, which run between 15 and 20. So between 15 and 20, this is all represented by 14. Of course, finally, this is the something that we can calculate to figure out the frequency for this one. We know that we have an information that frequency density equal frequency divided by width. Okay, we can assume that by this magic triangle, with that frequency equal frequency density multiplied by width, of course. So in these situations, we have a rule. Okay. So what the rule here, of course, between 15 and 20 for these situations, and we know that this is mean the width is what? What the width in this situation? 15 to 20. This is mean 5, right? So if I have the frequency, this is the frequency, which is 14, and this is 5. So FD would be like what? It will be like 14 divided by 5, 2.8. So finally, we know that this is the tallness or the height of this bar, 2.8. We can note that this is whole 1, this is whole 2, and this is 8. So this is mean each small square represents 0.1, right? You understand this? What happened here? So we answer everything now. So he said that we have in total, that's all, it's like what? 2.8, right? So do you understand it? Okay. Now he said in the beginning we have like 100 adults, right? And he said that all of the adults run at least 5 kilometers. Okay, none of the adults run more than 55. So as long as there is only who run at least 5 kilometers, so I need bar, only bar to represent in this area. I don't know where exactly it will end, but there is nothing here, so the only bar would be here. How I can recognize how I draw this bar, so it's depend on one thing. What this? This is 14. I need to figure out the frequency for each bar. Okay, so let's think about the frequency for this bar. How I can know the frequency for each bar, my friends? The frequency for each bar, frequency, it will be like area of bar. Okay, the frequency, it will be area of bar. Let's try by the frequency of this bar. It's a start from 20, end of 35. So this bar area, it will be 20 to 35. I have to, as we said here, from frequency density to know the frequency, multiply frequency density by multiply by the width. So the frequency density here is 15, and or the width is 15, sorry, and the frequency density it's end here at 3.4, right? So for the bar, it will be 15 multiply 3.4. Do you understand this? Here, what about this? It's a start from 35, end was 55, so it's mean 20, right? So it will be like 20 multiply 0.4. Again, if I need to 3.4, sorry. 3.4, as we said here. The other one, it would be like 20 because it started at 35, he ended at 55. So this is width, it will be 20. Multiply the height, which is 0.4 only. Okay? So for this part, let's calculate 15 multiplied 3.4. It will be 51. Now it will be 20 multiplied by this one. It will be like 4 over 10 to 8. Okay. So now the total, this is represented by 51. This is represented by 14. This is represented by 8. Of course, I need how many will be here, which is smaller than 15, of course. So it will be like 100 minus 51 plus 8 plus 14, which is equal 73, right? So this is the total, 73. How I can draw it in histogram? Of course, I have the frequency and I have the widths. It's a start from 5, end with 15. So 5 to 15 is like 10. So I'm searching which is would be what? Hmm? Do you understand this part? But it's not, sorry, it's not 73. Let's try by using calculator. It's 100 minus 51 minus 8 minus 14, which is equal 27. It will be 27, sorry. 27. So this is the frequency. وعشان اجيب الفريكونس density، عشان اجيب الفريكونس density بقول الفريكونس divided by الويتس. الويتس هنا كان من 15 ل 5 which is 10، والفريكونس كان 27، فهيبقى الهايت بتاعي 2.7 only. So it would be 2.7. Now starting from 5, I will draw, of course. Let's erase this all. Now let's start from 5 till 15 till 2.7, as he said. 2.7, it will be like this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, of course. It will be like this, and draw this part. That's all. You understand what's happening here? Okay, so this is for the whole part of this question. Question 23, he thought about soul shape is made by removing hemisphere shown shaded from the cone shown in the diagram. The radius of the hemisphere is 2x, so this is the hemisphere. It's like 2x, but in this distance for the cone all, it's like 5x here, so there it's like 5x, and the vertical height of the cone, which is this is all equal 6x. Now he said that the volume of the solid shape, and solid shape it's mean the whole cone without this hemisphere, it's equal 6948 pi. So in this situation, the first thing if I need to know the volume of the whole shape or the whole solid, it will be equal volume of the cone minus volume of hemisphere. Okay, so the volume of the whole shape he said like 6948 pi. This is equal volume of the cone, and we know that volume for cone from the formula sheet it's third pi r square h. So in this situation, as long as the r here is 5x, so it will be like this situation. Let's write it now. Will be 1 over 3 pi, and he said r here is 5x, so it will be like 5x all power of 2. This is all multiplied 6x. Okay, this is minus the volume of the hemisphere, and we know that the volume of hemisphere from the rules it's like 4 over 3 pi r cube as long as it's hemisphere. So divided by 2, it will be 2 over 3 pi r cube. This is hemisphere, not the sphere, because if the sphere it will be 4 over 3. So in this situation, it will be like 2 over 3 pi, and r here for the sphere is 2x, so it will be like 2x all power of 2. After this, I will solving for x, as long as, of course, I have x as a common factor. I can cancel pi from all terms, and it will be after I simplify. If I take like an x common factor here in this situation, this is would be 25, and this is would be 4, and send it outside. It will lead that 50 pi x power 3 minus 16 over 3 pi x power 3 equal 6948 pi. Of course, we cancel all the pi from the both sides, which is lead us that In these situations, after I take x power 3 common factor and cancel divided by pi and isolate x, so it will be like x power 3 equal 50 minus 16 over 3, which is equal 6948. So it's mean like x only equal cube root of 6948 divided by 50 minus 16 over 3, which is, by using the calculator, 5.378. So this is the value of x. So we have now to write the value of x after we multiply. So in this it will be 2 multiplied by 5.378, of course. This is the value of radius of the hemisphere. He asked me that work out the total surface area of the solid hemisphere that has been removed. So surface area for the hemisphere which is removed, it will be like this one. It's like a circle and the hemisphere. We know that the surface area for the hemisphere is like 4 pi r squared. This is the surface area for the hemisphere, and as long as it's half hemisphere, it will be divided by 2, which is equal to pi r squared. And the surface area, it's mean all the part outside and the circle of the base, so plus the circle of the base, which is pi r squared. So in the same, it will be like 3 pi r squared. So in this situations, after this, it will be like 3 pi r squared, so 3 pi, and the r we know that, which is equal to, multiply the value of x, which is right at 5.367, 5.378, all of course power of 2, which is all equal, the final value after I figure out, it will be like 1090. Question 24, polygon has inside where n greater than 5. This is an important information here. The interior angle of the polygon form an arithmetic sequence. Of course, there is a constant increasing or decrease. The smallest angle, 84. So this is mean as long as the arithmetic. So this is the value of a, and the difference which d is equal 4. Okay, work out the summation of interior angle of the polygon. So in this situation, we have to assume that the summation of the angle, which is Sn, equal the interior angle by the rule. Okay, Sn, it's like n over 2 multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1 all multiplied by d. This is all equal n minus 1, n minus 2, sorry, multiplied by 180. So I have to substitute and make like a quadratic equation here for this situation. And I have no idea about it, but I have to substitute the value of a and d. So it will be like n over 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 84, which is plus n minus 1 all multiplied by 4, which is equal here 180n minus 360. Now I have to expand this n here, so it will be like 84n. This is all plus, of course, this is 4, and multiplied it will be like 2n, so 2n power of 2 minus 2n, which is lead like 180n minus 360. Of course, we can note that I can divide all the equations by 2, so it will be 42n plus 2n power 2 minus n equal 90n minus 180. After I collect all these terms in one side, it will lead that n power of 2 minus 49n plus 180 equals 0. And in these situations, I can use mode 5.3, or I can use the quadratic formula, which is negative b positive or negative root b power of 2 minus 4ac divided by 2a to figure out the value. So I will find that I can factorize this into two brackets like this. Brackets will be n minus 4, which is equal 0. So once n equal 45, once n equal 4, of course I have to neglect this because he said this n greater than 5, so I cannot take this as a solution. So I will take n equal 45, so its polygon was 45 sides. In this situation, as long as he asked me for the summation of the angle, so I will apply like n minus 2 multiply 180, it will be 45 minus 2 all multiplied by 180, which is all equal the final of angles, which is 7,740. In question number 25, he asked me to put this equations in the form of this form. Of course, this form reminds us with the perfect square. So in this situation, I have to make sure that the coefficient of x power 2 has to be 1. So I will take from this all bracket negative 3 as a common factor. So it will be 17 minus 3, open the bracket. It remains x power of 2, of course, minus 4x. After this, my friends, I have to look at the coefficient of x, which is 4. I will divide it by 2 power of 2 add all 9s. So it will be 17 minus 3x power of 2 minus 4x. Of course, it will be once plus 2 power 2 once, it's minus 2 power 2 all. In these situations, this is only will be the perfect square, so I have to send this out. It's like negative 4. If I send it out, it has to be multiplied by negative 3. So it will be like negative 12, of course, in this situation. So I will send it out by negative 4 times negative 3, it will be positive 12. So it will be 17 plus 12 in these situations, which is all negative 3. Multiply, I will put x and the middle sign 2 all power 2, which is leads that's 29 minus 3 all x minus 2 all power 2. So this is the final form. This is the end of the exam with my all this wish, inshallah.